Greetings and welcome everybody to the channel. This is going to be a bit of a controversial video. It might result in me losing a few subscribers, by the way. Um, and so I want to speak on just the assassination of Charlie Kirk that happened a couple of days ago. I want to speak on just the craziness that's going on politically and how it affects gaming, the gaming industry, which is one of my passions, and just a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to try my best to kind of stay on topic. But if this is your first time checking out the channel or the algorithm brought you to me, let's just say that I hope by the end of this video, I will have earned your subscription and maybe, hopefully, you'll even join one of the memberships to support the channel because I do need the financial help. I won't even lie. But we'll see. You know, this might be the video that might turn you off. Who knows? So for starters, I will also admit that this video will probably be a little, actually not probably, it will be a little speculative. I do believe that the piece of shit that ended up shooting Charlie Kirk was in fact an extreme radical leftist. That's what I believe. The mere fact that this right here, if you're seeing this on your screen right now, that this guy had become more political in years before allegedly shooting Charlie Kirk. In my opinion, and this is just my own thoughts, since this is my camera and this is my microphone, I am entitled to those. And that this guy was an extreme leftist. I think it's pretty clear that if you've become more and more political, and the guy that you, I guess they want to say the word allegedly, so let's just use that. So the guy that allegedly shot Kirk was on the right, a conservative, and the alleged assassin, right? Since we're gonna play and use these terms, became more politically motivated. Well, what's the opposing party to conservative? I believe it's liberal, isn't it? So the fact that yeah, I think that's it, right? Now, of course, you know, there might be some people that offer pushback, and that's fine. I'm willing to read anybody's comments, just as long as you're respectful. Don't be a dick about it in the comments section, because some people do. Many on my channel, thankfully, are respectful and can actually string two sentences together to attack the argument and not attack me, the person. So we'll see. But that's just my beliefs on that front. And but from a conspiracy theorist standpoint, I do wonder and question if he acted alone. Were there more shooters? Was he in fact the shooter, or is he just the political fall guy to protect the real shooter and or group that may have had it out for Charlie Kirk? See, these are a lot of questions that I don't know if we as Americans here in this country are going to get. I don't know. All we know is that they have the alleged shooter. It looks like things are pointing to this guy, and I think that I think the prosecution is pushing for the death penalty. At least that's what I've heard. You know, but this is an ongoing story. I guess we will learn more as the days, the weeks, and the months go on, and I will dip my toes into this and cover this particular story because I do feel, since I have a microphone and I have a camera, I just feel I shouldn't be on the sidelines on this one. With that being said, the people that will argue and tell me that Charlie Kirk was a racist, to some of you that actually believe that, I would challenge anyone that believes that, find me a shred of proof. Find me any document, any video, any clip, any podcast, anything that would suggest or overtly prove that Kirk was a racist, and send it in the comment section and I will happily take a look at it. It is my belief that he was not a racist. And I do want to play something that I came across on my Instagram that actually supports that. But before I get to that point, I just want to touch, for the sake of the video, I want to touch on my political beliefs. Now, I'm not the type of guy that pushes my political ideology on anybody. You know, you're free to believe whatever you want to believe. You're conservative, you're progressive, liberal, Democrat. That's your business. It doesn't bother me either way. Because to be perfectly honest, up until like maybe a few years ago, I really didn't care much about politics anyway. The reason why it got on my radar specifically is because as a gamer, an avid gamer, which is one of my passions, that along with fitness, since I'm a certified personal trainer. So gaming and fitness are my two passions, and this particular channel, Red Related, is just, you know, an outlet for me to share those passions. So over the years, I've been seeing more and more games, you know, have like pronouns shoved in them, like, you know, more mental illness bullshit, you know, more gay undertones, just a lot of woke ideology, like, and it's just been becoming more and more and more apparent. And we've been seeing this with, you know, Ghosts of Yote, with that crazy chick, that the activist chick that the developers decided to swap out an actual character that the vast majority of the gaming population preferred. They got rid of him and inserted this crazy liberal chick that nobody likes. Well, let's just say, oh, well, the liberals like her, but the vast majority of the gaming population can't stand her. And it's showing. I don't think Ghost of Yote is going to do as good as that development company hopes. I've seen this with the ruination of Dragon Age the Veilguard, when they had a tranny run the actual the development of the game, and we all know what happened with that game. It absolutely flopped. I will speak more to that in a different video. So we've been seeing this in gaming over the years. And so it's become more and more annoying for me. So this is why I kind of just started to get a little bit more into politics and trying to figure out what is the source of this bullshit, right? And that's when I found it's coming from Democrats. It's coming from liberals, basically the left. And then you have on the right, you know, that's not to say that conservatives don't have their odd takes and things of that nature, but from what I can see, in short, it looks to me that the Republicans is the party of common sense. And so that's where I align myself. I prefer common sense. Men should not compete in women's sports. Trannies are not, you know, like, if you're men and women, men cannot become women and women cannot become men. Okay. I don't believe in woke ideology. I don't believe in DEI, because it's just really, like, people have jokingly referred to it as didn't earn it. It's like you're basically pushed up the ladder and hired in positions basically for what you are, not for what you've achieved or what you know. So that's why I'm not a fan of that. Basically, the person that is qualified oftentimes will not get that position because they're trying to fit in a quota, whether it's race or gender or whatever. So I'm not a fan of DEI. So learning that all of these asinine policies, these agendas, all come from the fucking left, all come from the Democrat side. It's all pushed, you know, it's staggering. It really is staggering. So I like I said, I try to stay on the sidelines, but it has become increasingly more difficult. when many of my favorite shows, movie franchises, and video games have become so infected by what people refer to as the slop. And it's hard to stay on the sidelines and not speak about this, especially when you tie it all together with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who basically had his life snuffed out because he was exercising his First Amendment right in a very peaceful and organized way, by trying to engage in civil debate with unhinged, uh, potentially radical leftists. From the videos I've seen, of from his YouTube channel and from other people that post clips on Instagram and X, and seeing all sorts of things. That's not to say that he didn't debate sane, respectful people. I'm not saying that. I did see a few clips where he had a very good spirited debate, but in all of those cases, for the people that believed differently than him, he still treated them with respect. Even in many cases, from what I could see, when people just outright disrespect him, throw water at him, cursed him out, he still, he made light of it. He was still respectful. And to have some extreme leftists, as far as I'm concerned, radical leftists, and ended up blowing him away is it's just absolutely it's disgusting. And so it's funny that I had like I think I mentioned to a few people that I had 6 people unsubscribe from my channel with the initial live stream I did on the assassination coverage, because I had it in the title, which I was accused of using as clickbait, extreme liberal. That's what he was. So, and then I've had some people in my comment section, like one person literally left 12 comments all on that same live stream, basically telling me that I'm being divisive, I'm sowing division, all this other stuff. And I'm like, if anybody is sowing division, it was the left, when they actually started trying to push these fucking agendas down everybody's throats for a number of years. I'm just merely reacting to it because it's been hitting me left and right for years in many of the things I enjoy watching and playing from a video game standpoint and a show/movie standpoint, that, again, as I keep saying, I just could not sit on the sidelines, and the assassination was the last straw. But I would love to know what some of you actually think about the recent developments of this situation, because I'm hearing that this guy, he had like some sort of tranny lover or boyfriend, whatever it was. I don't even know what the hell the thing was. I have no idea, but that's what I heard. I don't know how accurate it is. It was in the news. I don't know. I didn't really look into it, but that's something that was being spread around, that the guy that shot Kirk, he had some sort of tranny that he was messing around with. And then, of course, I always circle back around to that point, this right here, that he became more and more political. He became more political, which basically told me everything I needed to know. Irregardless of him having an unaffiliated status, which means absolutely nothing, in addition to his parents being, I think I heard that his parents were registered Republicans. At least that's what I heard or read, which both are irrelevant, because both of those things could be true, but it has no real bearing on if you, as that individual, him, the guy that pulled the trigger, believe something entirely different. It's like I can tell you A and I'm thinking B and I'm going to do B. It's like that. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. It matters what I'm choosing to do and thinking about doing. So it's just a really bad situation. It's a really bad time for the country as far as I'm concerned. And then, whether or not, I understand people are going to probably say, oh, well, you don't know if he's an extreme liberal and all this other. I'm already expecting that. So regardless of if he was or not, I think we can agree that the vast majority, if not all of the people that have celebrated this man, Charlie Kirk's assassination, are people that are from the left. Basically, a large percentage of them are on TikTok, another fucking cesspit of a website. Most of them are on that other fucking liberal agenda laden social site called Blue Sky. So we all know that. I don't think that should be up for debate. So I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. But before I get out of here, I want to play something real quick. Since people want to say that the man is, racist or what have you. So I want to play this particular thing here for people to, I just want to play this real quick.
This is almost 6 years ago exactly now, as of this video. I had not spoken to him in person or on social media. He started the conversation. You know what he said? 3 words. You are terrific. Now bear in mind, this is back before I was blessed with the followership I have now. I had fewer than 10,000 followers on Instagram, very small Facebook presence, wasn't even on TikTok at the time. But the fact of the matter is, this young man, this leader of Turning Point USA, reached out to me and saw something I had done. And he felt so moved that he reached out to me himself to encourage me. And then he went a step further. He invited me to the BLS, which is the Black Leadership Summit Turning Point USA was putting on in Washington, D.C. I told him, transparently, I was in between jobs and didn't have the money to fund my trip. He told me that they had scholarships available and to email him directly, and he'd be able to take care of it. I did, and that's the story of how I got to be a part of the Young Black Leadership Summit, which was instrumental in springboarding me to where I am today. Now, I share that story because he didn't have to do that. And if he was a racist person, why would he do that? I'm so tired of people being besmirched by the tired liberal lie that anyone they don't like has to be some sort of racist. And I'm not immune to this. They call me racist myself. Of course, it's ridiculous on its face, but this is the nonsensical nature of your average leftist. They really want you to believe deep down Charlie Kirk hated all black people. He saw the best in everyone. He saw in me something I didn't even quite see in myself at the time, and he chose to encourage me. That is why I will literally and metaphorically pick up that mic and continue the work that he started. Because I myself and many others are tired of being slandered and maligned by individuals who have nothing to sell us but fear, panic, and lies 24/7. I had to share that story with you. I thought about keeping that to myself, but the more I see him being typecast as some sort of evil person, the more I cannot be silent, and I hope that you will not be silent as well. It is time for action like never before. It is time for voices to rise like never before, and I hope you will join me in that effort. So that is the real Charlie Kirk, the one they don't want you to know, but the one I will continue to remember and honor with my actions into the future. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully you share, and hopefully you get busy as well, because we all have microphones to pick up, and we are all Charlie Kirk.
So, yeah. So there we go. So the man was racist. And the funny thing about this is that was just only one particular clip. I mean, there are many others I'm coming across. And it's devastating what happened to the man. And you know what, like I said, I have a bit of a voice. I have a microphone, and I just felt like sharing this, and I will continue to share this. I will continue to speak on this. I won't forget what Charlie Kirk stood for. I will say that I don't agree with every single thing that everybody has to say, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion should any man, woman, regardless of anything, should have their life snuffed out for simply having a difference of opinion. So I think with that, I'm going to leave off here, and let me know what you think in the comment section. I know this is a little bit of a rant. It's a little bit more political than most of my general content is. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, and especially when it pertains to the gaming industry. So hopefully you'll continue to support me, whether you join the membership or subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more content. Anyway, take care. Peace.